have more people logging on right now. Good morning, everybody. I am Roberto Carlos Lemus, and this is Jose Diaz Romero. We are the co-founders of Affluent Hispanic Philanthropies. We have a very exciting webinar for you guys today, but we wanted to tell you guys, a little bit about what Affluent Hispanic Philanthropies is. Again, we want to thank you guys for your time. We have a very, very informational presentation coming up right now in just a few minutes. But just a little bit about who Affluent Hispanic Philanthropies is. We're a world-class foundation with innovating ways to giving for philanthropreneurs. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization based here in the United States. Together with the different philanthropreneurs, we're aiming to make a difference by leading social initiatives such as this one, making sure that we educate our community, that we educate our small businesses that have gone through a crazy past year. So again, we thank you guys for being here today. I do want to introduce our speaker who is joining us today. We have Roberto Martinez, who is the founder and CEO at Braven Agency. He is a Google digital coach leader for the city of Los Angeles. He is an entrepreneur in residence for LA Optimize. So I want to welcome you, Roberto. Thank you for your time today, and I'll give you the floor.
Thank you so much. I'm very excited to be here today. I'm very excited to be presenting here for Affluent Hispanic Philanthropies, and the work that you guys are doing is phenomenal. This has been a long time coming. Jose and Roberto, it's amazing. It's great. I'm very excited to be here, and I'm very excited to present for you and your community around Google tools and services that you guys can use to grow your company, to grow your presence online and drive sales for yourselves. So would you like me to start, Roberto, or would you like me to talk a little bit more about Affluent Hispanic and the relationship?
Well, I mean, I can tell our audience as they're logging on right now that that your team has been very very helpful to our nonprofit and also our business, making sure that people are seeing us, that we're actually making things happen. So we really thank you for that. In today's class, I can tell you a little bit that we're going to be learning on how to get your business on Google Search and Google Maps. And Roberto is a perfect person. He can start the presentation now if you'd like.
Okay, fantastic. I'm going to take a quick picture of all of us for posterity reasons. Again, thank you so much, Roberto and Jose, for allowing me to be here today. I'm very excited to walk through and present this. My name is Roberto Martinez. You can call me Robert. I would answer to either one of those. My email address is robertomar@google.com. If you have any and all questions pertaining to Google, I'm your guy. The reason I'm in front of you is because a couple of years ago now, about 4.5 years ago, Google decided to invest in the Latino and African American community in certain states and certain cities. Since then, we've been able to grow our presence and really help our Latino business entrepreneurs, nonprofits, to help them understand how to use Google tools and how to use Google services that are free and that are paid. In today's session, we're gonna walk through all these amazing tools available to you as a small business. And so what we're gonna talk about first is how to create a business profile. Then we're gonna go into how to actually create it. So if you wanna create your business profile right now in real time, we'll go through it together and we'll create it. The next piece is how to manage that business profile. It's really important for you to create it and to give people access to your profile, but you yourself start that managing process. And then last but not least, we're going to show you some bells and whistles of a business profile so you can have a better sense of how you can leverage this tool to increase your customers, increase your revenue, increase your sales. So with that, we'll get started. If anyone has any questions, feel free to stop me as we go through the presentation. We do have a video, and this is a great video, but I prefer this one because it's a little bit more to our community. It's around Google My Business, and I'll let it play.
I was born and raised in Chicago, Illinois, in Little Village. Little Village is what Mexico in Chicago looks like, and it's a representation of our culture. My dad came to this country at 13 years old. He came to work in the fields in California. He eventually started importing candy and piñatas from Mexico, and that's how the Dulcelandia candy store was created.
If you're willing to work hard and put up the time that it takes to get things done, there are opportunities everywhere. The important thing is to provide for my children and my grandchildren.
My dad is a true example of a successful immigrant business owner that set the bar pretty high for my brothers and I. During the economic downturn, we started consolidating some of our stores. It was heart-wrenching to think that we would have to disappear as a small business. After 15 years of career in communications, I felt that I could add something to the business my dad had created, and that is Yogolandia Yogurt and Botana Bar. I wanted to offer customers Mexican flavored frozen yogurt like horchata, churro, mango, and even better, topped with Mexican candy. The first person I reached out to was my brother, and he says, yes, this is great, but how are you going to get the word out? How are people going to know that Yogolandia exists? Listing Yogolandia on Google was absolutely key for us. It truly legitimizes you as a business. It's free, and it really put us on the map. So that's really exciting for us to see that people are finding out about Yogolandia. There's photos, and we've got phenomenal reviews.
It's a great opportunity for us to take advantage of all of these tools to help small businesses grow.
It's important to bring the business into the 21st century. It's the only way people are going to know what my dad created 23 years ago.
Wow, what a wonderful video. Thank you for sharing that. As you know, Roberto, one of the industries that we focus on is the gastronomy industry. So this definitely goes down our alley. And I know we have some people signed on that are within that industry. So I know this presentation is going to be very important for them.
Yeah, no, it's great. I'm glad you enjoyed that presentation. It always gets me a little bit choked up. It's really fun to see how much just creating a business listing can change the way you increase your customer base. So what is a business listing? So a business listing is what your business profile looks like on the Google search engine. The world's largest search engine is Google. And so we all want to be on that search engine. We want to make sure that when someone searches for us, they're able to find us. And we do that by registering with Google My Business. So when someone is using their little phone, their little device, and they start looking for Affluent Hispanics Philanthropies, it pops up on the Google Maps. And so here's a really high level overview of what that looks like. You have a photo, the name, the overview, reviews, and how to get in contact with you, which is the most important piece. How do we reach you? How do we talk to you? And the reason why this is so important is because it is 2.7, almost 3 times more likely to be seen as respectable and reputable, meaning your customer base is going to trust you, and your customer base is more likely to say, hey, I want to work with them. I want to hire them, because Google is validating them. Google is saying that they're a trustworthy company, which is very important for you as a business, but also for your community. The other thing is that profiles that are up to date attract more visitors and lead to purchases. So just having your business listed on Google My Business automatically lists you on Google Maps. And that allows you to be found on Google Maps and allows prospective customers to be able to know how to get to you. It makes it very easy, especially right now that we're opening back up. The world is changing. We're all going online, but we're also opening back up. So we want to make sure we tell customers, hey, we're open again. Come visit us. What's really cool about the platform is the moment you set up your Google My Business, it doesn't matter where your customer tool is using, what tool your customer is using. It could be a phone, a tablet, a laptop, a desktop. It automatically is going to pop up on their search engine, and you're automatically going to be shown. So how do we get started? Well, there's a couple of things we need to do. First and foremost, we need to definitely have a Gmail account. That's your email account. If you don't have an email account, set one up. It's completely free. And what I would recommend everyone do if they're thinking, hey, I don't have this, do I have this, do I not, is to Google your company name and see if the profile pops up. If it doesn't pop up, you need to claim it. So let me stop there and see if anyone has any questions. If you don't have any questions, I'll continue on talking about how to go about creating your business. And so this particular piece is all around how do I go about creating my Google My Business listing. Very easy, very straightforward. The first thing you want to do is to go to google.com/business. And on that particular page, we're going to start the process of registering your company. So we're going to go in, we're going to log into our Gmail account. As I said before, it's very important for you to have a Gmail. And Once you're there, you're going to go and you're going to type in your company name, which is also very important. You want to make sure you list and you search for your company to see if it's already been claimed or to see at a minimum if it exists or not. Once you have that piece of information, you're going to decide, yes, it does exist. Let me access it, or no, it does not. I'm going to create it from scratch. You're going to list the name of your business and how you want that business to be seen, specifically on the Google search engine, which is extremely important. You want to make sure everyone can see that on the Google search engine. So think through, what is the exact name that I want to have on my business, and what do I want customers to find me as? So sometimes when we create our company, our LLC or our tax papers say one name, but we get to choose the name that we want to have on the Google My Business. I would highly suggest it's really close to what you listed in your taxes, but it doesn't necessarily have to be the case. Then this is the next important piece. It's really important to think through the category that fits your business. Now, the good thing about this piece is that once you submit this category and set up your Google My Business, later on, you're going to be able to come back and change that out and add more different categories in your Google My Business listing. But for now, be hyper-focused on what is the best category right now for your businesses to grow, for your business to grow. So you want to think about your customer base. How do people see me? What do people think about me when they actually search for me? Because this is going to be very important. When someone searches for that phrase or that word, you want Google to populate your business listing, not anyone else's. I hope that makes sense. Okay, now we have a couple options here. Let's say we just started our company, we're working from our homes, and we don't have a physical location. That's perfectly fine. You could click no, I do not want to add a location customers can visit. Now, if you do have a physical location, let's say you're a restaurant or a bodega or a cafe, you say yes, I want people to find me. So you're gonna, if you say yes, it's gonna be easier for prospective customers to find you than not. So if you say yes, you're gonna enter the address that you currently have as your place of business. As you can see here, I'm in a pretty big office space. I list my business. I put the address that if people want to visit my office, they can definitely come in and visit my office. But you don't necessarily have to say that. You don't have to tell them, yes, I do want to. You can also just say no and tell Google, I have a certain service area that I want to cover for my service. So you could think about it like this. I am in the city of Long Beach, but I also cover the city of Downey, the city of Bell, the city of Bellflower, the city of Los Al, the city of Huntington Beach. You can literally list all those areas as potential service areas. What this allows you to do is that when the prospective customer in Downey, in Bell, in Bellflower, in Huntington Beach is searching for your type of company, you pop up. And that's what we want. We want more people to find us online. Just think about your own customer experience. What's the first thing you do when you're thinking about a problem, you're trying to solve a problem? You go for your phone, you go to Google, and you start Googling to try to figure out how to solve that problem. Let's say you're really hungry. What do? You go to Google, you search for local taquerias, local pupuserias, whatever it happens to be. Now, we want to also list our business information, our phone number. If we have a website, great. We drop in the link to our website there. If we don't have a website, we say we do not need a website, and we click on that. It's entirely up to you. If you want to launch your business without a website, this is not going to hinder you in any shape, way, or form to set up your Google My Business. But I would highly recommend that if you do have a website, that you definitely set it up. Okay. We're almost done here. After you set up your Google My Business and you set up the page, you're almost done. Google's going to prompt you and say, we're going to finish this listing. We're going to mail out a card. So you want to set out and receive a postcard. And this particular postcard is to verify your business, is to make sure that you actually exist. So a lot of businesses tell me, Robert, but I don't have an actual location. That's perfectly fine. Send that postcard to your home address. That postcard address is not going to be listed on Google My Business, right? It's just a way for Google to confirm that you're a real person and not just anyone and everyone are setting these business listings up. It takes anywhere from 3 to 5 business days to receive it. Because of COVID, it might take a little bit longer, but earlier on this year, last year as well, it did take some time, maybe 2 weeks, but now we're back to business as usual. It takes anywhere from 3 to 5 days to get that postcard with the 5-digit PIN. You get that 5-digit PIN and then you activate your business listing. Now, that doesn't mean that you cannot activate your business listing beforehand. I'll show you how it looks. You can definitely set it up. It just won't be verified. So that is it. That's how easy it is to set up your Google My Business. Let me stop there and see if anyone has any questions. And if they don't have any questions, I'll keep going. No questions? All right. It's always good when people are just nodding their heads and saying, okay, we get it. We understand. All right. So we set up the Google My Business page. Now it's time to think through how to increase the type of services and the type of products that we're providing to our businesses. So remember, we talked about the category. You can start listing the different services that you provide as that category. So in the example we're using here, we're using a shoe company that repairs shoes, a shoe repair shop. But underneath that, there's all these different keywords and key phrases that you could add to it in case people are searching for those keywords and key phrases. Why is this important? Because you want to make sure that that you inform the customer of all the different services you provide them to help them out. Another key piece here is to definitely talk about your business as it stands and list out the business description. Tell us all about who your business is, how amazing it is, how much amazing work you guys do. All that is really, really important. This is your time to shine. So you definitely want to fill out the business description. Now,
so we do have a question. We do have a question from Coolest Nerd. They're asking if it matters if for SEO, if you set this up with a Gmail or business name.
Great question. So SEO is search engine optimization, and all that means is that on your presence online, your prospective customer, you want to make sure you are top of the list, top of the search engine in your respective category. So when you set up your Google My Business, when anyone types in your business, you want your business listing to pop up. But let's say you are a philanthropy, right? Maybe I'm looking to partner with a philanthropy and I'll put best philanthropy in the city of Long Beach. I want affluent Hispanics to pop up, right? That's what I want. So when you think about it, you want to make sure that whatever word or phrase you want to own, you list that in your business. So I don't necessarily agree with having a name that's really hard to remember. Like, you really want to think through the name. And your @business sign, that's a great comment. When you set up your Google My Business, you can create an @business name. And that @business name, what we call, it's kind of like a hashtag. It's going to allow you to be found on anything and everything. If people put in that hashtag on the search engine, people put in the hashtag in other places. So we'll get to that component. That's going to help out your search engine optimization. It's going to definitely help you get found easier online. Oh, I love this question, Marian. That's exactly right. If you don't have a store, it doesn't matter. What you want, and if you want, you can think about it like this. You want more stores to source from you, right? You're a vendor and you're sourcing those vendors. You can't create that and just have it listed and cover the whole United States. The whole country's your client, right? So this particular listing would just add trust to your business. Again, in the very beginning of the slides, we talked about trust and confidence, how having a business listing increases the confidence customers have in you. So the way you want to think about this is, how does this benefit me? Well, when someone's searching for servicing different bakeries or buying from different bakeries to service their stores, you will pop up. Or at a minimum, if they're doing their background research and saying, hey, we're going to order a significant order from this particular company that does these baked goods, are they reputable? Can I trust them? Have they been around for a while? And so they're going to do their market research. They're going to go on there, they're going to go on Google, and they're going to start searching for your company. And you want to show them like, hey, we exist, we're real. We have pictures, which is this slide. That's what the slide's all about. We have our foods in those pictures, our baked goods, so you can see what you're going to buy. You can see our employees. Again, building that trust, building that confidence that you will not be something that they can't trust, or you could be a great partner for them. So that's why it's important. Great question, Maria. That is a great question. So the other thing that you want to think through as we're working through this is you want to update your business profile constantly. I say I update our business profile for my company every month. So every month we go in there, we do posts, we inform our customers, we do text messaging, we add pictures, all very, very important stuff. And so we're going to take a look at the back end right now and show you how to work through your Google My Business. And then I'm going to open up and show you my Google My Business and what I use to improve that customer relation. So to sign into your Google My Business, it's very easy. You have to have your Gmail account, but once you have your Gmail account, it's very, very easy to go in there. You can do it one of two ways. You can literally go to Google My Business and sign in, or you can do it from the grid. And I'll show you how the grid looks like right now. Okay, so let me show you what a grid is. As you guys can see my screen, this top portion right here on the right-hand side, that's called my grid. The moment I sign into my Gmail account, I'm already logged in. I'm using Chrome, obviously. So I click on my grid, and there's my Google My Business. I click on that, and that is how I could get to my business profile. And here is my back end of my business profile and all the information and what I could do to manage my profile to make sure all the information is up to date. So let's talk about how to manage your profile. Let me see if anyone else has any other questions before I move on. No questions? Fantastic. Okay, so how do we manage this information? Well, as you saw on my page, on the back end, that's your home page. That's where all the information is listed. It's not really that useful per se, but it's there for you to give you an overarching picture of what your business is all about. What's really important here is to make edits to your information, create posts, add pictures, drive reviews to your Google My Business page, because the more reviews you have, the more people are going to trust you. And that's what you want. You want people to trust you, so that when you type in marketing agency or bake shop in Long Beach or bake shop in the city of Palos Verdes, you guys pop up as opposed to your competitors. So let's take a quick tour of how that looks like. I'm going to play you this video very quickly about a business in New York that launched their own laundry service, and because of COVID, they were able to adapt and capture some of those clients. Oops.
We opened Celsius with the idea to create a laundromat that people actually wanted to hang out in. When New York issued its stay-at-home order, we quickly shifted to drop-offs only. We switched to online booking through our Google profile, setting aside priority times for essential workers. We loved our community and just wanted to help in any way we could.
So what you saw here is that they thought about an innovative way to service a prospective company and clients by creating the social distancing, really cool, very slick laundromat. Obviously, New York is very, very dense population. And so they created a great, really cool looking laundromat. I love the way it looks, and a very useful service there for people that need that type of service. So that's what we want. So it's really important to think through, how am I communicating to my customers, and are they finding the information they need? So one of the things that we obviously tell you is think through the business name and categories, think through what the additional categories are. So if you have more than one category, you list it there. So as you see here, it says primary category, additional categories. You could list multiple types of categories. Welcome back, Luis. Yeah, welcome back, Luis. So you could list multiple categories. You can always update your address if you want. You can also update your service area. You can list multiple service areas. Now that won't happen instantly. It'll take some time, but it's super important for you to be able to add that component to your to your site. So it's really important for you to add that service area. It's really important for you to keep reminding customers that you exist and you cover their service area. The other piece that's really important is your hours of operation. You always want to inform your customers on when they're working, when they're not working. The hours of operation is critical for your success. So 40% of local businesses who get searched are being searched because they want to know if they're open or they're closed. So always update these, especially now that the world's opening back up because the restrictions are being lessened from COVID. Very important. You can also add a lot of different variables to your hours of operations. Maybe if you're a cloud kitchen, for example, you can add this information like online service, online orders, all that stuff you can add as well within your Google My Business to inform your customer that they don't necessarily have to come in. They could literally get it dropped off or they could order everything online. So earlier we had a question, I think, I forgot who was the one asking it, but they asked us, how do we get it trended for SEO? How do we drive that hashtag? How do we get people to find out where about? Within Google My Business Info, you can actually create a short profile name. And this allows you to be found when anyone searches for that particular search name. So for this example, Vincent's Village Cobbler is what he wanted to use so that anytime anyone types in that, the Google My Business listing pops up. Very cool tool and allows you to be top of mind and promote your company very easily. Obviously, phone numbers and if you have a website, very important. We definitely want you to include that. You can list whatever phone number you want. You could list your business phone number. You could list your cell phone number. I'll be very thoughtful about what number you're listing. Now, there's also this new functionality where we talk about different attributes. And what we mean by attributes is what are the different ways prospective customers would want to shop with me. GoDaddy had a study a couple months ago, and they showed that there's been an uptick in customers buying from certain types of business. So if you differentiate yourself because you're a veteran or a woman-owned, the GoDaddy study said that they were more likely to increase sales if they had those designations, which is really, really cool to know. Like, so if you're a woman-owned business or a Black-owned business, definitely want to list that out in your Google My Business. And Google's consistently adding new affiliations and attributes. All right, we kind of talked about this piece already, the business description. No need to go through it again. Just make sure you put all the information you think is relevant to your customers, specifically on their search history and how long have you been around. That really creates trust for you. And you have that functionality to talk about your opening date. When is the date that it was opened so that people can trust you and say, wow, these guys have been around for 4 years, 5 years, 10 years. We could definitely trust them. You can also create different appointment links. So let's say you have Calendly and you want to create a link so that your prospective customer can set up an appointment with you. You can set that up as well within your Google My Business so that when they land on your Google My Business page, they just click on that link and set up an appointment. We also have backend integrations for all these different tools that allow you to set up bookings, online classes, appointments. You could definitely do that. Just go into your Google My Business. Now, I would say this, not every single Google My Business listing is going to have this designation because Google's going to make a recommendation based on the type of business. For example, the example that you're seeing here is a yoga studio. So they're saying, okay, well, yoga studios, you kind of have to make appointments. So we're going to allow them the capability of making appointments compared to, let's say, a marketing agency. You don't really need appointments for a marketing agency or a bake shop. Okay, we have another question. Let's see. So great question. So Calendly is free, but Google's just integrating the third-party application to the Google My Business. So whichever application you choose to use, it's up to your discretion. It could cost you money or not cost you money. It all depends. Now, we want to talk through posts. You could create free posts just like you do on social media sites. You can inform your customers on all the different things that are going on in your company. And you do that through the post functionality. You set up a post, and then the post is populated for 2 weeks on your Google My Business. And then people can see that post and say, hey, they have a discount, or they're having a grand opening, or they're having an event. I want to be part of that event. And so let me show you how that looks like. So these are the 4 variation of posts. You go in there, and as a matter of fact, let me show you how it looks like on the back end. So let's say I want to create a post. I click on that, and there you have it. These are the different types of posts that you can have. And so you click on offer, and then you can create the post right there, add the picture, and you're off to the races, and then publish it. And they'll tell you how many people saw the post, how many people click on the post, all good stuff for you to have a better understanding if your posts are actually moving the needle and driving traffic or not. All right. Photos are very important. We highly recommend that you add photos to humanize your brand, especially if you're a product like a bake shop. I think that's priceless. I think there's nothing better than a story to tell, than a picture to tell your story. So some tips for pictures, always great lighting. There's categories that Google will designate, like here's your header, here's your logo, here's your homepage picture. So you could leverage those guiding posts to create the right type of picture for you. So we have a question here, and the question is, can you add video? Yes, you can, Miriam. A great question. There's a section there. And as a matter of fact, now that we're here, I'll show you on my Google My Business. We're going to go to photos, and there you have it. There you have all the different photos, and here's a video that we have up and running in my company. So that's an example of a video, but you could add the types of videos that you want to your particular business page. So yes, you can add videos. We have a free tool that's available for you to create your own videos called, what is it? You know what? I forgot what it's called. Can you believe that? I think it's called Google Video Maker, but let me actually look. Uh-oh. Okay, let me get on there. Google My Business Video Maker. That's what it's called. Google My Business Video Maker. You can make your own video for free. It doesn't cost you anything. That video that you saw right now streaming, that was my video, and I made it using this free tool for you and your business. It doesn't cost you a dime. If you have products, you can also add a products tab and upload images of those products and list list the value of that product. If you're a service and you have a specific cost for that service, you could add that service and describe what it is, and then add a price to that so that people know how much it costs to hire you for that service. So if you're consulting and you provide consulting services, they'll know how much it will cost for you to hire you. We have another question here. Wait, sorry, I missed that. What was the video site? Google My Business Video Creator. Google My Business Video Creator. Going too fast here. Okay, now let's assume you do not have a website, right? Let's assume you do not have a website. Google will give you a free micro page. It's a one-page site at no cost to you, and it's completely free. It doesn't look that nice. I mean, it's pretty basic, and I mean that's my page if I was to go live. So as you can tell, I probably don't want this page, but here's my current website. A little bit better, I would say, as opposed to what you guys saw earlier, right? Like, you can't compare the two. This is really bad compared to this. So what Google's doing though, is it's giving you what's called a microsite. And this is meant for you to have something up while you build your website. So it's free, doesn't cost you a dime, but it's there for you to leverage while you build out your website. Now we have a couple questions. Google My Business Video Creator. Thank you, Roberto. My opinion on listing pricing. Any opinion? That's a great question. It all depends on the product. If the product is fixed, like, you know, a 24 pack of sodas, then it makes sense to list them. If your product is not, or if you have a service industry, like you provide websites and you provide paid advertising, that doesn't make sense because some websites, if you quote them, they're going to hold you to it, and maybe you'll quote them like at 3,500, and it's actually $5,000 worth of your time and energy and your team to create that website. But then you quote it at 3,500, they might hold you to it. How do you best leverage Google to drive traffic to your blog? Christy, great question. So you can't, how would I answer that? The way you want to think about that is you're a content creator. So if you're publishing information, then the whole idea is to drive traffic to your blog page. What we advise is to position whatever that blog is around the thought leadership that you're providing for that blog, and that's how you do it. So that exercise is a little bit more of an SEO exercise, search engine optimization exercise, where you have to improve the keywords and key phrases people are searching for. For example, if I'm going to Cabo and I want to figure out what the best restaurants are, or like an itinerary, I'll go on Google search and type in best things to do in Cabo or best itinerary for Cabo San Lucas, and I'll pop up all these different blogs, right? So that's all dependent on the blogger having those keywords and key phrases in the site, and also dependent on Google. That falls way outside what we're talking about here today, which is the Google business listing. So I'll be more than happy to address that a little bit after the presentation to fall into that little rabbit hole, because it is a great question. It's all around content and creating content and increasing the channels that you're promoting your blog on. Okay, so probably one of the most important pieces of the Google My Business page is your review. And the reason why is because, as you guys all know, reviews can make or break you. And so in 2016, Harvard Business Review released a study about Yelp and other review systems, and they realized that for each additional star, revenue increases between 4 to 10%. So let's say you make $100,000 a year. Let's just keep the math simple. Just by increasing the star from 3 to 4, you would increase revenue by $4,000 to $10,000. Significant amount of money, if you ask me. So it's really important to make sure that you promote your business. If you have great customers that love you, have them submit their request. Google provides you a really nifty tool that allows you to set it up. I'll show you how that looks like. It's right here on the homepage, I think. Go to homepage, and then where is it? Set up your, manage your reviews. It's under reviews. Services, products, insights, info, maybe. A lot of information here. I want to say it's, oh, reviews, duh. I'm blind. So here's where you can see your reviews. Google will allow you to have this short URL that allows you to communicate to your prospective customers using that short review. And this is the form right here, share review form. And you click on that, you copy this, and now if you guys wanted to, I could drop it in the chat. You guys could submit a review on my company and say, hey, Robert's a great company. We definitely like working with him. We definitely love his marketing agency, for example. So we definitely recommend that you use that tool. And how would you use it? Well, when the customer loves you, say, hey, we really love what you're doing. We really love your services. Send them that review. Great to hear. Submit a review, please. Really important. If you want to, you can also turn on text messaging. So Google has this tool called Google Voice, and Google Voice connects to your Google My Business page. You'll give them a phone number. That phone number will be hidden, and Google will add a Google Voice number so it doesn't share your phone number to the world. And the person can see that number and send a text message in real time to you and to your company, for example. Really cool for restaurants. I saw a lot of restaurants use this tool. A lot of nightclubs used to use this tool for reservations. Hey, are you still open? Hey, are you not open? It gets cumbersome because sometimes the person who you put that phone number is going to get bombarded with text messages up at like 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night because people want to know, is it still open? Is it not open? So they're going to get a lot of text messages. Just something to keep in mind of. What's really good is that it actually saves all the text messages on your Google My Business page. We have a question around this. Let's see what they say. Yeah, I agree. So very important piece here on the adding different managers to your Google My Business page. It is important, it is important that you set up your Google My Business yourself. There's definitely marketing agencies that provide this service to you. And there's value in hiring them because they know how to do this already. They've done it 1,000,001 times. They know how to optimize it and improve your business listing as best they can. What I don't like is sometimes the business won't give you access back to that page. They're like, no, it's mine now. I'm not going to give you access. Or if you had your intern do it or your marketing associate do it and then they leave, what's going to happen? Well, it's going to be really hard to get access back to your Google My Business because they're the ones that set it up with their email, not yours. So you definitely want to set up your Google My Business and then give access to the responsible parties. Hopefully that makes sense. It's really hard to get your Google My Business listing back if you don't do that. Now we have another section within Google My Business. It's called the Insights page, and this tells you all kinds of relevant information, like what are people searching for you. I'll show it to you on my end. It's one of the cooler functionalities, like how many people search for you, how many people went directly to your business listing, how many went from the brand, what type of day, how they found us, the interactions, how many went to the website, directions, and then the heat map, right? How many people requested, we're in Long Beach, obviously. How many people requested that? All really relevant information because it helps you understand how your customers are finding you. And this is a free tool, again, it doesn't cost you a dime to leverage. And then you could kind of figure out different ways to optimize that information to drive. No, this is similar to Google Analytics. It's not the same. Google Analytics is a lot more robust, if you will. But it's a similar concept of providing you a high-level overview of your business listing information. So we kind of talked about this, a lot of information here, customer actions, where they found you, phone calls, photos, directions, requests, just a lot of cool information that helps you make informed decisions on your company. All right, we're at time. With that being said, first steps to claim your Google My Business is to go to google.com/business, start the process of claiming and completing your business profile, secure that postcard, and update your information as you see fit. Once you set up your business, make sure you add amazing pictures and photos and videos to humanize that process and make sure it keeps your customers engaged. We have a bunch of free services for you guys that are interested. If you have your Google My Business page already and you want some free swag from Google, all you have to go to is g.co/marketing kit, and Google will mail you these little flyers and stickers and postcards that talk about your company and how proud they are. Especially, and what they'll do is they'll take your reviews and add them to this particular flyer marketing kit. And you can use that online, and you can use that on your storefront if you have a storefront to add as a sticker. We also have a free app that's called Google Primer that lets you learn about the different marketing tools and services available to you, not just in Google, but just marketing overall. SEO, paid ads, what's a briefing, what's pay-per-click, what's a good pay-per-click-through rate, what is email marketing. Just a lot of cool information for you to consume in 2 to 3 minutes. You can also go to Grow with Google and find a bunch of information on YouTube about the different services we provide and different videos about the different workshops that we provide. We definitely want you to keep in touch. I want to thank you all for joining me today. I will stop presenting and open up to Q&A and ask you guys and thank you guys for joining us today at this webinar. Thank you so much. And with that, I turn it over to our good friends here, Roberto and Jose.
Yeah, thank you very much, Roberto. This is great information. More than ever, it's important for our businesses to show up on Google and, for people to understand that our businesses are still going. So thank you for sharing this very valuable information. I do have one quick question. I know we do have some Spanish speakers here and some Spanish speakers that will be watching this later on. Do you guys offer this information in Spanish?
Yeah, we could definitely run this workshop in the future, maybe in July or August in Spanish if you like. We do the same process, the same presentation, almost the same thing, but in Spanish. So we could definitely have this in Spanish.
Perfect. And
Excellent.
just for the viewers that are here today, just know that this is the first of many different webinars that we're going to be hosting. We appreciate that Google has made us an official Grow with Google partner, Affluent Hispanic Philanthropies. You guys can Google us, and you guys will get to see a little bit of our profile, kind of what Roberto showed us today. And if you guys want to follow us, you guys can go to our website first, www.affluenthispanic.org. And on social media, you guys can find us at Affluent Hispanic on Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook. So again, we appreciate everybody's time here today. We appreciate all this valuable information. And if you guys want to, if you guys missed any of this presentation, we are recording it. We are going to be posting it on our Facebook page. So again, follow us at Affluent Hispanic.
Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate your time.
Thank you guys. You guys have a great day. Take care.
Adios.
Bye. Adios.